Howdy y'all, I'm Kate Conway. I write the Undertow series, and I thought I should go through some of the books I have on my reading list for this summer. It's only about half. The rest are on order, but I get a lot of questions from bookstores and librarians, and they ask, what am I reading, what do I like, what do I think kids are going to get addicted to? So I'm just going to go through what I have in my pile next to me. And I'll tell you the ones I've already read and the ones I'm dying to read. So, on my list is Scott Westerfeld's Afterworlds. I know everything is reversed. What do you want? This looks like a brilliant idea. I like the fact I've never read his Uglies. I've never read him at all. I like the idea that the writer, her world that she's writing gets twisted in with her fictional story and her real life. And I love the graphics in this, so you could see the pages, they're either black tipped or white tipped depending on what you're reading. Whether it's the fictional story or whether it's the real story. Personally, my life is so nuts, I think my whole life is fiction. The Raven Boys. So I have not read any of her work, but any of Maggie's work. The reason I want to read this is a bunch of my fans said I need to read The Raven Boys. So I'm the type of person that likes to own books because I'm nuts and I have an office that has tons of bookshelves. And so I bought this along with Scott's, and I haven't read them yet. But it's on my list. I swear I will. Maggie. So I picked this one up from listening to Kids Online. This is 10 Things We Did. I like the concept of this. I like the idea that there's a million things they did. So I'm going to read a little bit of the back of it. It says, if given an opportunity, what 16-year-old wouldn't jump at the chance to move in with a friend and live parent-free? Although maybe opportunity isn't the right word, since April had to tell her dad a tiny little untruth to make it happen. See number 1, lie to our parents. But she and her housemate Vi are totally responsible, and able to take care of themselves. How they ended up skipping school, number 3, buying a hot tub, number 4, and harboring a fugitive, number 7, is a mystery to them. To get through the year, April will have to juggle a love triangle, learn to do her own laundry, and accept that her carefully constructed world might just fall apart. One thing she shouldn't have done at a time. Love this concept. So that's on my list. This is a classmate, and I'm dying to read it. Caroline, I'm sorry I haven't gotten around to it yet. This is adult. It's you, not, well, I guess it spells you either way. This is by Caroline Kepnes. It is a dark stalker story told from the perspective of the stalker in second person. Second person point of view. It looks great, and the back says you're going to be sorry when you realize what you made me do. The good news is that I have no regrets. And it got some great play, and she has a second book coming out. I will get to this one as well. I'm halfway through Sarah Maas's Heir of Fire. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. Sarah, I tell everyone about this series, and the irony is that there's some libraries near me that have never heard of it, which is just wrong. This is a brilliant, brilliant series. Huge book. I am told, crazy woman, that your next book is even bigger. So this is her Throne of Glass series. It goes Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and I don't remember what the next one's going to be named, coming out. I think it's in the fall. Awesome series. Great world building, phenomenal characters, and it's one of the rare books I like in third person because she kills it in third person. Seriously, mad envy. I don't think I could pull it off. So I'm reading this one, and I just ordered her Crown of Thorns and Roses. That looks really good too, but you know, it's not teen. I heard a lot about this one. By Stacey J, and it is of Beauty and Beast. So I bought this one. I have not read it yet. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast with a twist, and I love retellings with a twist. it says, she's a queen, I'm a prisoner, I am her monster, and she is mine. I think I love the concept of this because of Undertow and the fact that Rillin Blackwood, who appears in the Stormfront book, my second book, Elizabeth Walker used to call him her monster. So I love the concept of the book. Great cover. Dying to read this one as well. My daughter's been eyeballing this one. So I have a 14-year-old daughter, and she just goes through my list of books, and she'll pull stuff out, and she'll run her finger along the spines. Spines are important. And she'll ask me for my opinions, which, you know, she never actually takes. She stole my Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which I'm dying to read, and she's hidden it. So now I have to twist around and find it. This is Laura Pauling's Heist. Awesome book. Hoping to get this. This one is going to the top of my read list for a couple of reasons. So this is a futuristic jump on the Gardner Museum heist. First of all, if you're an English teacher, why wouldn't you bring this into your classroom? This is a perfect example of blending fantasy with what really happened. There's a ton of stuff you could link to that. Laura, where the heck is your Common Core guide, woman? Call me. I'll help you make one. So this is on the list. My daughter is fascinated by that one. This is Jen Malone and Gail Now. I know Jen. It's You're Invited, and it's mid-grade, and I do a thing where I like randomly open a page in a book and see what the tone sounds like. She's hilarious. So I don't normally read mid-grade. I normally read upper YA, new adult, and adult. But now I have to read this, and I'm dying to read the At Your Service book. So because I'm psychotic, I drive a 16-ton school bus, and if I get to the school too early in the morning, the kids act like hyenas on like sugar highs. So I'm thinking I'm going to start reading over the PA system in the bus in the morning, and I want At Your Service. I think it's a smaller book, and I probably can get through it, and I think it'll appeal to all of them. This is the You're Invited book, and it's about 12-year-old Sadie, who is, her mom's in the wedding planning business, and she's helping out, so she decides that she also wants to build her own business around doing sleepover things. Anyway, that's on the list. Alright, Victoria, you know who you are because you landed on the bestsellers list at number 1 the day this dropped. This is The Red Queen. I wanted to read this book because of the cover. I have not read it yet. It looks like a kind of a brilliant retelling of literally the Queen of Hearts. I could be wrong, but that's what it almost sounds like, a respinning of it. And I like that idea that, you know, you pull her out of the rabbit hole and all that, and you just set the Queen of Hearts against the other people. I mean, it's about bloodlines and stuff, but it almost has that vibe to it. So that sounds cool. Plus, there's, you know, lies and underhanded stuff going on, which is totally up my alley if you read my series. Okay, I'm totally going to fangirl for a minute, because I did not read this series for the longest time, and then I read it, and then it's so addictive. This is Annie Guggen's Lionheart. It's the 3rd book in Scarlet. I own the whole series, although I begged for this. This is an arc. Thank you for giving it to me. I read the entire series in like 2.5 days. This one I got at like 5 o'clock on a Friday and stayed up till 2 in the morning reading it. So good. It's a retelling of Robin Hood, but not really. It's actually a... I mean, it is a retelling of Robin Hood, but the main character is Will Scarlet, but Will Scarlet's actually a chick, and she's a badass. So I love that, and I love how dark the world is, and I could really feel Nottingham. She just writes brilliantly. So this one I've read. However, I'll probably end up reading it again. Dying to read, and I tell everybody about this book. Oops, sorry. And I haven't read it yet, but again, I opened a random page and was laughing my butt off. This is Hellhole by Gina D'Amico. I ordered this the day it came out. First of all, Gina's kind of kooky like me, but the concept behind the book is killing me. So it says, she also writes the Croak series about the girl who goes to live with her, I think it's her uncle, and she finds out he's actually like the Grim Reaper, and she has to take over the family business. So she's nuts, Gina. And this one's basically about the devil that comes and parks his butt on this kid's couch, and he can't get rid of him, and so he like gets wrapped up with this goth chick, and who doesn't really like him. He's like, "Please help me get rid of the devil." I love the cover. So this is Hellhole. Alright, this one everybody talked about. So I haven't read it yet, but I have both books. This is The Winter's Curse. Gorgeous cover. I love this type of paper. It's hard to see, but basically what happened was they like cut it in such a way that it's like all bumpy and stuff. It's basically about this dystopian world where this girl buys a slave, young man, and there's a lot of twists involved. I haven't read it yet, but I like the concept. So this is on my list. Plus I have The Winter's Crime, which is another gorgeous cover. Marie must be so pleased with these covers. They're so nice. I'm a huge fan of this series by C.J. Redwine. This is the second book. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I read the first book, which was Defiance. And actually my review of Defiance is on CapeCodscribe.com. Great book. Love the way she writes. She writes with this vivid appeal in how she describes stuff. And I like the concept behind the book. So this girl, her father was a courier, and it's this fantasy world where something called the Cursed One. I always pictured him as this huge dragon with these fabulous clicking scales, and he lives under the ground, and he'll like fry your butt if you bother him. And he seems to be controlled by this sort of flute-like whistle. And her father goes missing, and in this future world, all the girls have to have sort of guardians, or not really guardians, but like suitors, dudes, protecting them. Now, I went to an all-women's college, so right there, I wanted to read how she pulls this off. And C.J. Redwine does a great job, because this girl is like, I don't need you. And she gets stuck with her father's apprentice, who she had the hots for when she was younger, but he shot her down, and she's horrified. But anyway, they go out into the wasteland, and they're in, the first book is The Search for the Father. This is the second book. I have not read it yet. I did open it up, see if I can find the page, and started reading it, and the way she describes her hair is like coils of copper. I love the world building in it, so that's C.J. Redwine. Have not read this one either. Mind you, I'm from Cape Cod, where the Kennedys hang out, and, you know, we have all these wealthy people all the time, so I want to read Even in Paradise, which kind of reminds me of almost like a Kennedy-ish spin. So I read We Were Liars. That was so good. I do have her next book on order, about a young girl who kind of overthrows a boys' school type thing. But this looked so good. So it's about this young girl that gets kind of wrapped up in this glittering life of a well-to-do family. And I guess in some ways I was a mad fan of Gatsby, so I kind of like the same basic concept. I've had this on my shelf for a while, and I keep pulling it, and then I keep getting distracted, because I have to do like 9,000 book signings and finish my own stuff. This one looks awesome. So Even in Paradise, and it's Chelsea Philpott. So this is an arc of Trisha Lever and Lindsay Curry's Sweet Madness. And it's the story of Lizzie Borden. If you know Lizzie Borden at all, there's a poem about her hacking up her parents. And this is told from the maid's perspective. Now, what's cool about it, this is an arc, so it looks super skinny, but it will be bigger. I think what's cool about it is Trisha was over my house, and she was having coffee. First of all, I love what she writes anyway. And she was over at my house having coffee, and we were working on someone's manuscript. And she was telling me the background of the Bordens. They're nuts. So now I was like, okay, I need to start reading this like instantly. And the great thing is she still spins it with a fictional spin. So even though you could like not embellish anything about these crazy family that like kept murdering people and collecting the dead people's houses, this has a great spin in that she spins it as a curse, and it's not told from Lizzie Borden's perspective, and I think Lizzie was totally pleased her parents were killed. I don't know who killed them though. You know, they always blame poor Lizzie. Gotta have some sort of, you know, scapegoat. But the cover's gorgeous, and I'm dying to read how these two crazy women respun this book. So that's Sweet Madness. That's out. Wait a minute. Let's see if it says. Trisha, you're gonna kick my butt. It comes out in the fall. I can't remember the exact date. Okay, this is Lance Rubin's Denton Little's Death Date. I am dying to read this one, too. I have a real problem. There's not enough hours in the day for me to constantly read. And I could burn through a novel in a day, but I'm kind of like split now because I'm desperately trying to finish True North, and I'm doing book signings, and I do graphic artwork. So, plus I'm redoing this whole massive historic book for the town of Sandwich. So, this is about a kid. First of all, I must say I absolutely love the cover. It's a hearse. You can't tell, but it's done this way. And this is an ARC copy I got from a really good indie bookstore that always asks me what they should stock. So they hand me off ARCs once in a while. I'm on NetGalley too, but I like physical books. So anyway, it's about in this futuristic sort of, not super futuristic, but like sort of an alternate world. You get the day you die on the day you're born. And so for poor Denton, it's his prom. So he has like an hour, like a day left before prom, and he decides he wants to do everything under the sun, and it blows up in his face. So it's actually supposed to be hilarious. I love really funny books, which is probably why I love Gina D'Amico's Twisted Brain. So this is Denton Little's Death Date, and it is out. You could buy this. This is Jen Brooks in A World Just Right. First of all, I could feel the cover of this book for days. It's got like a texture to it. I can't even explain it. It's In a World Just Right, and it's about a kid that can make his own worlds, and he decides to, how can I explain it? He makes his own alternate realities, and he ends up making one and making his own girlfriend. Yeah. So Jen explains it as actually kind of dark. I have not had a chance to read it yet, but I love the concept. And like I said, I could like feel the cover all day. So that's on my list. Then I have, oh, she has such a pretty, I didn't even put this in here. Okay. This is Lori Goldstein's Becoming Jen. Gorgeous cover. Like I said, I'm a graphic designer, so covers are big for me. I'm sorry. But I love this. It has the bangle on the front. It is a genie story about a young girl who is literally becoming Jinn. So Jinn is genie. And it's about how she's not really thrilled about it. And how she has her same Jinn sisters that are like coming into their own. It's the same. Actually, the way the concept sounds to me is like it's what do you want to call it? Debutante season. So you get a bunch of girls the same age that are what's it called? Not coming out. I'm not from the South. I'm really sorry if you are. That came out wrong. I mean, I'm gonna botch it. What's that called? Anyway, when the girls all come out together, I guess, so they can date. I don't know, we New Englanders, they like throw us to the wolves at a young age. So anyway, it almost sounds like that, except done in a genie spin, and she like works at a beach little shack, and I would tell you it's probably more contemporary than it is fantasy. So it's really a teenager's story, except she happens to be a genie. And apparently she's really hot looking, and I wish I had her body. But that's beside the point. So that's all I have for now. I have a bunch more on order. I have Rook on order. I have Crimson Bound on order. Bunch of stuff. So I'll come back then. All the links to the books are going to be below. And hopefully I'll get to see some of you at the book signing on Friday, May 8th, 2015, at the Sandwich Library. There will be an author panel. Will answer ridiculous questions like, what is your best book boyfriend? And oh my god, for me, it's Under the Never Sky. Perry. What a hottie. But anyway, I'll be there with friends. It's the Sandwich Library, Sandwich, Massachusetts, 6 to 8. And we'll do giveaways too. Anyway, peace out, people. Read well.